More and more Democrats seem to be rejecting that advice and instead getting on offense. And it appears that in many cases they are scoring. You can tell they're scoring by watching the effect that Democrats being on offense is having on those Democrats' Republican opponents. It is an effect best described as stop, squirm, and run. We are seeing it play out in races in which Democrats are favored and races in which Republicans are favored. We are seeing it in some of the highest profile races in the country from which the common wisdom about these elections this year is supposedly drawn. If that's the case, the common wisdom needs updating. Here is a case in point. Linda McMahon, the former World Wrestling Entertainment CEO and the Republican nominee for Senate from Connecticut.
Do you think there should be a minimum wage?
Well, the minimum wage now in our country, I think we've set that, and so there are a lot of people who have benefited from that, but I think we need to review how much it ought to be.
Are you for reducing the minimum wage?
Well, I think, we've got minimum wages in states, we've got minimum wages in the government, and I think we ought to look at all of those issues in terms of what mandates are being placed on businesses and can they afford them.
The Republican nominee for Senate from the great state of Connecticut says we ought to look at reducing the minimum wage. Here's her opponent, Democrat Dick Blumenthal, using that admission to go on offense.
She took home $46 million, and now she's talking about lowering the minimum wage.
She is all in it for her.
Linda McMahon, profits before people.
A Democrat goes on offense. The Republican responds by sort of losing it. Despite the tape of her comments, Ms. McMahon is now trying to convince CNN that she didn't mean what she said, telling CNN that she misspoke because she did not understand the question. She did not understand what was going on. Quote, I thought I was answering a question that I had heard that was about increasing the minimum wage. Would I consider that? I never said anything about lowering the minimum wage. I mean, that was last week. I'm a whole new person now. Stop, squirm, run from previously held position. Stop, squirm, and run.